Hey, third grade. Today in science, we're going to talk all about science tools. So right now, I want you to pause this video, make sure you have your science journal and a pencil. Those two things. Science journal and a pencil. Do you have it? Okay, let's get started. So in your science journal, you're going to open up to the next clean page. And at the very top of your page, you're going to write science tools. You also need to write the date. Now, today's date is 8/26/2020. And that's at the top of your science page. Okay? So the first tool that we're going to talk about is a balance. Okay? And when you think of balance, maybe you think about standing on one foot. You can't see, but I'm standing on one foot right now. That's balance. This is another type of balance. Okay, so I want you to write the word balance. I'm using different colors so that you can see, but you are going to use a pencil. And if at any time you need to pause the video and catch up, make sure you're writing, then pause the video and come back when you're done writing whatever it is you need to write. So a balance helps us compare the mass of objects, or it could also be used to measure mass. So what you would do is you would take two objects. You would take one object and you put it on this side, and you would take another object and you'd put it on this side. Now we can see, since the cup is lower, this cup has more mass than the Clorox wipes. See? So we're going to write the definition of a balance, what it does, and we're going to draw a picture. So let's start with the definition. And again, pause the video whenever you need. We're going to write compares it compares the mass of two objects. Or it measures mass. And we're going to draw a picture to help us remember what it looks like. So here's what the balance looks like. It has a little base on the bottom. In the middle, it kind of has a little triangular thing. And on top, it has the two plates where the objects go. So we need what holds them together and a plate on this side and a plate on this side. To help me remember what it did, I'm going to draw the two objects we used. We used a cup with some markers, and we used a Clorox wipe. see my picture of my balance. All right, let's keep going. Again, if you need to pause the video, make sure before you keep going, you have the name of the tool, what it does, and a picture. You need all of those things. Next, we're going to talk about a beaker. Now this is a really big beaker. Beakers have different sizes. You can have a big beaker like this one or a little beaker like this one. They both do the same thing. They both measure the volume of an object or a liquid. We're going to talk about more what that word volume means, but for now we're just focused on the tool. So you're going to write beaker. And a beaker measures volume of an object or a liquid. The reason we're writing these down is so that we can have them all school year in our science journal. If you don't remember what something does, you can go back and look. And there might be a quiz or an activity after this where you need these definitions. So be sure to write them down. Now, we're going to draw a picture of a beaker. Remember, these are our two beakers. And you can see it, I have some water in this big beaker right here. And you can see it's just above that little 200 mark. Oh, I'm sorry. We should be looking at this one. It's just above that 800 mark. So that's 800 milliliters of water. It's a lot of water. So let's draw a picture. I'm going to draw a big beaker. Like we saw, I'm going to draw a little beaker. Okay, there's our beaker. The next science tool that we're going to use, or we're going to talk about, is called a spring scale. This is a spring scale. It measures an object's mass. So how it works is you see all these numbers right here, and you see this little hook. When you pull down on the hook, do you see that white part moving? So pay attention to this thing right here. Watch how it moves down. Okay? So when I put my scissors on this spring, it goes down. It went down to about 80 grams. So we know that my scissors weigh or have the mass of 80 grams. So that is a spring scale. Let's write it down. A spring scale. Now I'm going to run into my words, so I'm just going to move down here. A spring scale measures mass. Remember to write down the tool, write down the definition or what it does, and now we're going to draw a picture. So this one's a little bit tricky. So I'm going to draw the lines like you saw here. And then I'm going to draw a little hook on the end. There's our spring scale. All right, we have 2 more. Make sure you have all this written down so far. I'm going to move my paper up. That way I can write better. All right. The next object that we have, actually, we're going to talk about this one later. I'm going to hide it from you. We're not going to talk about it yet. We have one more. This, it's kind of hard to see. This is called a hand lens. And if you look into it, it's not going to work now. It makes things bigger. It does work. You're going to see my eye got really big. Look at this eye compared to this eye. That's funny, huh? It makes things bigger. So a hand lens is like a magnifying glass. And this specific hand lens has 3 different things that you can look into. And they each make something a different size. So if you couldn't read your rain gauge, you can hold your magnifying glass up to the numbers and you can see the numbers get bigger. It helps you read. So we're going to write hand lens. And a hand lens makes objects look bigger. All right, and now let's draw a picture. I drew a regular magnifying glass, so that's what you can think of, but I'm gonna draw the one that we have here at school too. It's got a triangle bottom. Kind of looks like an ice cream cone. It's got 3 circles. Just like that. There we go. Okay, before you end this video, make sure that you have all 4 tools written down, okay? Pause the video right here if you don't have them all written down. We have a balance, a beaker, a spring scale, and a hand lens, okay? All of these should be written in your science journal. Okay, good luck on your activity, and we'll see you guys next time.